County, and Yanceyville being located just about right here. That's another cell that we're watching. In Danville, I would say in Pittsylvania County and Virginia, that you guys are going to see both of these thunderstorm cells here working their way through the region in the next half an hour or so. We go back out to the entire area, and let's put our watches and warnings back on here so we can check and see if anything has changed. And yes, something has changed. It's actually our severe thunderstorm warning that we were looking at in Stokes County there has now expired. So that takes us for our viewing area, and now if you go all the way over toward Roxborough and Person County, that still is in effect, that tornado warning, until 2:15, so a little less than a half an hour from now. But for our viewing area in particular, all of the watches and warnings are from a thunderstorm and tornado standpoint have now expired. However, the flooding situation, let's show you that because that's still in effect for these counties, and we can go over this with you with Yadkin County in a flash flood watch until 8 a.m., Surrey County with that same watch until 8 a.m. We do a flash flood warning for Stokes County until 7:15. It's 2:30 for Forsyth County and Guilford County, and I believe Davidson, yes, the same time there, 2:30 for a flash flood warning. And then when you head north, it's 7 a.m. for Rockingham County, heading over to Caswell County, that flash flood warning at 7 a.m. And then our Virginia counties, flash flood warning for Patrick till 7:15, 4:15 for Henry County, and 4:45 for Pittsylvania County. Obviously, flooding would be an issue across the region when you see that much rain in a short amount of time. And even though you think about this, it really wasn't a short amount of time when you think about every single cell that passed through the area, because for a good, let's see, we went on the air sometime in the 7 o'clock hour. So let's just say 7:30 till 1:30. We've got 6 hours or plus of coverage of this thing. And when you see cells continue passing over the exact same locations, after a while, as we were talking on the air, and Kent and I were both saying it, they start to run together because we've seen so much in the way of watches and warnings and the cells going over the exact same areas, and that's why flooding will definitely be an issue with this. And Kent, you and I have done 2 tours of duty in the Triad area, and I'm not sure I've seen this widespread of a tornado outbreak or this much severe weather in a summertime situation in all the years of forecasting in this region.
Well, I think you hit on it right there, Eric. It hasn't been this widespread. There will be isolated pockets, and I think all of us can remember the Stoneville tornado from 1998. But that was a situation where it hit one part of the Triad and one part only, and it was devastating to that one part. But we're talking about this line of storms that came through tonight and how wide that swath was and how strong it was. And it moved over, and it just seemed to be, I don't know, Eric, it just seemed...
So some lightning up Highway 220 from Madison, Mayodan up toward Martinsville, but no tornado warnings, no severe thunderstorm warnings at this time, just the flash flood warnings that still are in effect across our area. Let's go out even wider, Brian, and we'll kind of show you what's building in from the south and from the west. We still have a whole line of some showers moving in. Can't rule out maybe an isolated thunderstorm, but it doesn't look like they're quite as potent here. Also some wet weather kind of filling in down here to the south. So some rain over Rowan County, also over Davie County, and then moving into Davidson County. We'll continue to see that work its way overhead because the front is still not through here. It's what's happening out ahead of the front that we have been dealing with. And we'll switch weather computer, and we can actually go back in time, and you can watch the time bar here at the top. It will take you to about 10:20 this evening, and in particular, this is advance over eastern Davie County. This is where we had the tornado touchdown, at least what we believe to be a confirmed tornado there. And of course, the folks from the Weather Service will be heading out there. We'll continue to watch this as I put it into motion, and you can see how the storms have tracked. And of course, this is Sandy Ridge area in western Guilford County, and then storms continuing to move through the early morning hours, and then the latest image, of course, showing you the weather just to the north. Those storms are pretty intense, of course, even to the north, but not quite as potent as they were earlier. Rainfall, you can see across our area, we have seen significant rainfall in the region. In fact, a lot of folks on the screen here in yellow, 3+ inches. So this is for Forsyth County, northwest Guilford County, up toward Martinsville and Henry County, seeing 3+ inches. Where you're seeing the green, that's about 1 to 2 inches. These are preliminary storm reports that actually are fed into the Weather Service offices. This may not be a complete tally of all the damage that we've seen in the area, but these are reports now to the Weather Service of tornadoes in eastern Davie County, also western Guilford County, and we'll look for confirmation on those perhaps during the day tomorrow. So whether folks have had a chance to get out there and sort of survey the damage, the sun comes up, have some time to kind of evaluate what types of wind and what wind speeds might have done this type of damage. Are the trees twisted around? Are they laying flat? If the roof has been blown off, was it just lifted and pushed to the side? Was it picked up and carried? Was it twisted? Those are the sort of things that they'll start to look at. Here's some of the rainfall totals from our weather watchers, about 1.5 inches, Yadkinville, also out to the west. And then you can see our front now moving eastward into the mountain communities. Last little bit of this will keep in and hold on to that chance of showers and storms at least for the next several hours, and then we'll push that front through. Temperatures are still nice and warm and muggy. Our dew points right now are in the mid-60s, and our temperatures are close to 70 degrees, so it's still a little unstable, especially down here to the south, and I wouldn't rule out a thunderstorm in Randolph or in Davidson County because we haven't seen a whole lot of activity so far. The wind's already shifting some. They're out of the south, out ahead of the front at about 10 to 20 miles an hour. They're shifting a little bit and coming in out of the north behind that line of thunderstorms that's moving in. Area of low pressure tomorrow morning, perhaps some lingering showers. It continues to the east. Notice how the front doesn't get too far to the south. So by tomorrow afternoon, we've got drier air in here, so lower humidity. Still going to be breezy, and it's still going to be warm because in May, sun is definitely going to warm us up.
I mean, I've never seen anything like that before.
Was that on West Market Street, Chris?
I'll cue back up to...
At that time, it was fast. The storm was powerful.
Let's see what we got here. There we go. I think you're seeing that video.
Chance maybe through midday in the triad. For the foothills, we're up to about 78. Decreasing clouds and some sunshine for you. For the mountains, we're in the upper 50s to start, and we'll take our temperatures up to about 69 by afternoon. Also partly. Here's the front again for Friday. Clearing in the afternoon. Front moves off to the east. Here comes that wave on Saturday, mainly in the morning. And then moving into Sunday, we'll watch that wave continue to move east. And then here comes another storm system. In fact, we've kind of got a real active weather pattern, more typical of March than, say, May, lining up here over the next week, week and a half, because we have what we call troughiness in the east, or we have the jet stream kind of lining up, digging to the south, bringing us below normal temperatures perhaps, and also bringing us an increased chance of storms. So we're going to kind of see these storms moving through. The next one comes through on Sunday, and there's the potential that we could see severe weather with that one as well. Severe weather on Saturday. It's going to be out over Arkansas, parts of Tennessee, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, and then move east for Sunday, and it'll stretch right on up the mountains up toward D.C. and all the way down to the south. So there'll be a chance again for large hail, damaging winds, and maybe even isolated tornadoes on Sunday too. Here's a 5-day forecast. The temperatures are in the 60s, or I should say 70s, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, cooling off a little more so Monday and Tuesday down to about 70. Overnight temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s. And again, we have not seen any new warnings up there, but we'll go to Brian Slocum will give us an update on the radar.
Yeah, we're watching. If we go switch to live radar real quick, there's one cell that we are watching moving through eastern Stokes County that we're a little bit concerned about. Looking at the rotation in the cloud, we do have a couple of pixels here, the red and green that we've been talking about, that shows inbound and outbound winds, rotation winds at about 60 knots. So it's something that we're going to have to watch very closely here. Incidentally, the tornado watch, which was set to expire at 1 a.m. about almost an hour ago now, was extended to 4 a.m. for all area counties that were under the watch previously. So something to keep in mind. As Lenny mentioned, no active warnings yet, but again, we're going to have to watch this very closely as we go in through the next few hours. We'll take a closer look at that storm. And these storms in Stokes County still pretty dangerous. Of course, if you recall, Stokes County been hit several times so far this evening. One cell south of Danbury is not so much the one that we were concerned about. It's the one that's moving into Rockingham County. Mayodan, Madison, seeing this pretty nasty looking cell right now. Let's take a look at the cloud tops and see how high the storm is.